make your way to me, and I'll always be just so inviting. If I ever start to think straight this time, started right in me. Let's start. Hey, why do we like to hurt so much? Oh, why do we like to hurt so much? That's what you get when you let your heart win. Whoa. When you let your heart win. It is day 21 of our journey through Musashi's Dakota. And what an interesting journey and day that it has been. Last night I had a really down day. Anger consumed, and sadness followed it. More on that in a bit. Day 21, the last principle for our self-discovery journey, and the last episode of Nomad Alone. Lesson 21. Never stray from the way. So what does that mean? Never stray from the way. Well, you have to pick your own way. The way would be your purpose. Throughout these 21 days, we've painted this picture of an individual who does everything in their lives in alignment to their purpose. We talked about accepting the world as it is. We talked about not having blueprints on reality to be removed from your desires, because reality might have something different in store for you. We've talked about pain. We've talked about not letting ourselves be fueled by heavy emotions. We've talked about suffering. We've talked about separation. And I think all of these things are a part of the path. In the book, it says, his rules converge in this tenet. Remain steadfast on your path, eyes on your mission. In combat or creative pursuit, success favors those who test limits, continually evolve methods, and apply enduring truths without wavering from their chosen way. I think last night / this morning, because it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, I think last night through my anger, a few things happened. Through my anger and my sadness, a few things happened. It feels like the world is in this constant rainy state right now, which I'm not even sure if it's a step up from the world being on fire like I've previously been experiencing the world. I think that's why the color blue is so calming for me overall throughout my life. It's because for me, the world sorry Just for me, the world was always on fire. Like I was born in this burning building and I believed that the entire world was on fire. Now I'm out of that mindset, but I'm dealing with such high emotional turmoil within myself. No, the turmoil isn't within myself. The turmoil, unfortunately, is due to interpersonal relationships, and the world's just raining now. And maybe that's progress. Maybe that's a step up from fire. But you know, I thought, and maybe this is me putting a blueprint on reality, but yesterday, I really thought I was okay. There wasn't anything going on. I was quiet, but I am quiet. I didn't overthink anything. In fact, my brain didn't think about most things. I did my writing, I did my meditation, I did my work at my job. It seemed like things were okay. And then nighttime came. And you know, the thing about what had happened was it didn't feel spontaneous, like, oh, this just randomly happened. No, it felt like a bunch of omens were just showing me evidence that a certain outcome is inevitable and I need to accept that outcome. But then it felt like I was watching hope leave and die inside of me. The same hope that got me through the tunnel. The same hope that helped me bust through the labyrinth. And you know, I had this anger driven thought. I was physically punching my bed when it happened. I mean, I was laying there and I was just punching my bed, and I wasn't screaming, but I wanted to so badly because I was in so much pain. And I remember saying, why is it still raining? I did what I was supposed to, and it's still raining. You know, before it was, why is the world still on fire? I did what I was supposed to, and yet this is still happening. And then now it's become, why is it still raining? I did what I was supposed to. So why is it still raining? You know, I've went through these 21 days. I've went through all the psych visits. I've went through all of the alone time, all the self-growth time. I've gone through so much. Trying to get back on the path, trying to get back on the way. And I guess I thought by the end of it, I would feel like the rain wasn't here. Like I thought I would feel like the world wasn't raining. I'm not trying to discredit my progress. It's not what I'm trying to do. Again, it went from burning to raining, and that's progress. So I'm not trying to discredit that. But I think it's important to acknowledge the fact that I feel not as good as I thought I would. You know, and so one of those things is, sorry. So, one of those things, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, so I'm laying there and I'm punching my bed and I'm saying these things about how I dismantled and I changed everything about myself. And I changed everything about myself. And one thing remained. One thing remained. And that was my love. My love's the only thing that remained. And then that's when the sadness kicked in. The sadness in this situation was it was like the ending to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was like that. It was like, oh, all the anger, it came out like, yeah, you know what, Uncle Phil, I don't need him, to hell with him. And then immediately there was a pause, there was a break, and he just says, why doesn't he want me? That's what it felt like. I went through everything. I didn't do it for anyone else. I did it for myself. And yet, I got to the end, and my thoughts still were, why can't I have this one thing? And you know what I think? I think it's an issue. Not an issue. I don't. Maybe it is an issue. I don't know. I think it's a. I think it's a symptom of my heart. I think it's a symptom of not being hollow. Everything that can go wrong right now is going wrong. Everything that can go wrong right now is going wrong right now. I debated going hollow last night. I see it wasn't really a debate. I just felt it happening, and the thing about that was usually my brain is really loud, it's like all these loud things, these loud voices, sounds are extra loud, whatever. And typically when that happens, I'm able to say, just because the thoughts are loud does not mean that they are true. Last night, everything was quiet. And I was reminded that just because things are quiet doesn't make them true as well sometimes. I don't know, and I may never know. I thought coming out on the other side of this, I'd be, I don't know, happy. But maybe that's all that this ever was. I've made substantial change, but all of this, these 21 days, these 21 principles, all of this really were just foundation. It was all just a starting point. And now I have to continue on the way, on my way. So what is my way? How can I choose to not go hollow? How can I fight off going hollow? When the longer that I'm not hollow, my heart just breaks. It just breaks and it shatters, and every single day I pick up the pieces and I stitch them back together and I wrap them up in a bandage so they can heal. And then every day it happens again. When will the raining stop? I guess the answer is by staying on my way, staying on the path. And the thing about paths, especially your path that you're on, all situations and all roads that you take will lead to the same destination. You know, Tolkien, the author of Lord of the Rings, he had always said that not everyone that wanders is lost. But I fear that I've been wandering for so long that I don't even know where the path is. And throughout these 21 days, I've learned that the path is where your feet lie. I am on the path. I just need to continue growing and working on myself and sharpening my swords, which in this case, I need to keep writing. I need to remain ambitious. I need to keep my heart open. I need to not put up walls. I'm a person that feels so incredibly deeply, and I need to do that no matter how many times my heart breaks. No matter how many times it shatters. No matter how many times I shatter. You know what just popped into my head thinking about that? The view from halfway down from BoJack Horseman. I mean, I feel like I'm just looking at the doorway, looking at the abyss, and I'm thinking, not even is this terrifying? No, I'm thinking, why is this so terrifying? Why is entering this next chapter so terrifying? And then I remember what Herb said. That it's not terrifying. Hi, Coco. That it's not terrifying. It's just the way it is. I recognized that that was about death, the same way I recognized that if I ever go hollow again, I'm not coming back. I'm trying not to go hollow because I will not come back. I can guarantee it. It's not a thought experiment. It is a promise. If I go hollow, I'm not coming back. Coco, calm down. Thing, like I said, everything that can go wrong is going wrong. but maybe I did everything I was supposed to, and maybe it's still raining. But maybe a world in rain is better than a world on fire. And I can be proud of my growth and still be terrified of what comes next, while accepting that whatever comes next is still just a part of the journey. This really is like Zuko Alone. You know, at the end of the episode of Zuko Alone, after he's been a nomad, after he's been helping this family, connecting with them and all these things, he gets into another fight, and as much as he's holding back and holding restraint, he eventually uses his firebending ability. He wins the fight, he saves the people, and he goes to hand back the dagger, and everyone just looks at him like everything that he has done up to that point is null and void because he is the Fire Lord's son. And I think that's what this feels like. No matter how much I changed, no matter how much I grew, no matter doing everything that I was supposed to do, that I felt like I was supposed to do, doing all these things, no matter what, I then look towards the setting sun, and I feel, I guess I feel like it didn't matter. But it does matter. When you spend 27 years believing the world is on fire, the world being raining, or the world now just being rainy and covered in water, is new and is different. I think that's a monumental step in the right direction for me. So no matter how it sounds and how I feel on day 21 right now, I would say this. Through these 21 days, through these 21 days, I have painted a picture of a man that was lost, broken, mentally and in the heart, who was at war with himself. His brain and his heart have been at war with each other for longer than they can imagine. One that had lost a spark. One that had lost their way and couldn't find the path through the fog and the fire. And coming out of it now, my brain and my heart are not at war. They're not at war. I wouldn't even say my brain isn't kind to me. My brain is just recognizing patterns from past experiences. And I have to get better at recognizing what I'm seeing, acknowledging that I'm feeling this way because of past experiences, and not putting that emotion onto a new situation that I don't know how it's gonna end yet. I'm fighting to not go hollow now. And even though it's still raining, it's better than being on fire and having people complain about the smell of ash. So, at the end of the day, I got a lot from this journey. And now we step through the door and see what happens next. It is also a full moon tonight. We leave the versions of us from this journey in the last cycle of July. For anybody watching the series, I hope that it has brought you some peace, at least just a piece of the peaceful pie, I guess. And you set off on your own journeys, and you continue to grow and continue to heal and continue on your path. I sincerely hope that for everyone. And I guess that's all I have to say. This has been Nomad Alone. I wish you safety on your path. Safe travels, my friend.